Thanks for joining us. Luxury condos in Duluth's Woodland neighborhood. It's a proposal that's getting pushback from many living nearby.
A rezoning application has been submitted to the city by Titanium Partners, which aims to build 2 luxury condominiums near the intersection of Woodland and Minneapolis Avenue.
Northern News Now's Isabella Zadra takes a look at the proposal and hears from those not happy about it.
Woodland Avenue in Duluth sees hundreds of cars every day. That number is only expected to go up as the company Titanium Partners plans to add condos to the area.
Woodland is already a pretty freaky one for me to cross.
Titanium Partners held a public meeting at Hartley back in January, where residents showed some concern, leading them to make a community flyer and spread the word. The flyers advocated to keep the woods in Woodland and highlighted concerns such as the new access point to the busy street and visibility issues along the S-turn road. Kayla Vonberg and her family have lived on Woodland for 3 years. Other than the shared concern, she doesn't know if this is what Duluth needs.
We have a housing problem. I don't know that luxury condos are the answer to that. Everything I've been hearing is that we need more single-family homes.
Councilor Wendy Durwalker represents the Woodland area and claims she wasn't aware of the project until she saw the flyers herself.
It's important for the residents to be informed of developments coming into their neighborhood. I'm all for people being as informed as possible and having a chance to be heard.
As of now, she's keeping a neutral stance about this proposed rezoning and encouraging anyone with questions or comments to contact her. Vonberg hopes in the future the community can come together and talk about different affordable housing options. She says there's a lot of other opportunities for Duluth to grow, and that doesn't involve luxury complexes. In Duluth, Isabella Zadra, Northern News Now.
Now, rezoning application will go before the Duluth Planning Committee on April 8th, where there will also be time for public comment.
Well, taking a live look right now outside at the Duluth Harbor, where there's still a little bit of ice, if you can still tell, holding on despite our spring-like temperatures. Checking in now with Chief Meteorologist Adam Lorch, who is, I think,